This is my Roblox account when I started it with 0 Robux on it. And here it is now a few years later with over 20 million Robux on it. And that's all because of one ugly item that you've never heard of before. The Thrill Seeker. This random Roblox item literally changed my entire life. So back in 2018, I had some of the best limited items on all of Roblox. The Sky Blue Sparkle Time Fedora, the Valkyrie Helm, and a bunch of other really crazy ones. And on top of that, I had tons of Robux. Until my account actually got hacked. And some random person in Chicago stole every single one of my limited items. And I had to completely restart from 0. So I decided to make a brand new Roblox account and I bought Builders Club in order to start trading my way back up. And I even decided to make an entire YouTube channel to document my entire trading journey. So I looked for an item to buy to start, and the item I found ended up being the Thrill Seeker. And honestly, I have no idea why I chose it because this item is horrible and it looks super ugly. But it was a great item to pick because I started off with some really good trades. First, I traded it for the Locksmith Secret, and then I traded it for the White Ninja Headband, already making me a few hundred Robux. But it was my third ever trade that was the biggest turning point, where somebody at Trade Hangout changed my entire trading journey. This user, Benir, gave me a few of his items for free, and this one trade instantly doubled my value. And after that, it just became really easy. I traded the Snow Queen Smile for the Cosmos Sloth. Also, do keep in mind that the value on all these trades have changed. But anyways, I made another trade here, which made me a few hundred Robux. I just kept making trade after trade after trade. And after 5 days of trading, I went from my original Thrill Seeker at 500 Robux to over 16,000 worth of items. And I kept increasing not only my value in limited items, but also my YouTube channel, making videos every time I would make a few trades. And up to this point, I was able to get a couple hundred subscribers. To be honest, the videos that I uploaded back then were terrible. My videos are still terrible now, but at least I have fun doing them. And at the end of my first month of trading, I was able to make it up to 46,022 Robux worth of limited items, having items like the Playful Vampire, the Super Duper Fly Cap, Catching Snowflakes, and tons of others. But the only problem is, at the end of the month, my Builders Club also ran out. And I didn't have the money to buy Builders Club again, so that was kind of just the end. I couldn't trade anymore since you need Builders Club to trade, and that meant that I had nothing to make videos on either. So I quit YouTube and I quit trading. If you guys are enjoying the video, please leave a like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 250,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so help us get there. Until one day I logged into my YouTube channel and I saw that randomly one of my videos blew up and got a ton of views on it. Just a random trading video that got 100,000 views on it. And that was enough motivation for me to find $5 somewhere, buy Builders Club again, and restart this YouTube thing. And even along the way, I was able to get some of my favorite items on Roblox, and I was able to reobtain a lot of the items that I had before I actually got hacked. The Valkyrie Helm, Silver King of the Night, and a bunch of the other ones that I lost. I'm not even gonna lie, some of these videos were really unhinged. But I was literally bullying the little kids that I was trading with at Trade Hangout. I promise I definitely don't do this anymore. Then the next turning point was in March of 2020 when COVID hit. Obviously there was no more school, so that meant that I had way more time, and I would literally just spend hours at Trade Hangout trying to make the best trades possible. Don't tell my teachers this, but in one tab I would have my Zoom meeting open, and in the other tab I would have Trade Hangout open. Just trading hundreds of thousands of Robux at a time while in my math class. And during those months of lockdown, I went from having only 212,000 value all the way up to 415,000, which meant that I was extremely close to actually passing what I had before I got hacked. I had a questionable inventory with 4 Playful Vampires and 6 Madness Faces, but I was definitely making profit. While making all these trades, I also went on a 128-day upload streak where my YouTube channel went from only having 500 subscribers to having over 3,000. And also, while making all of these trades, I decided to make a few different pairs of clothing. I made a bunch of different shoes and a bunch of different shirts, and I was able to build up my own clothing group that literally made me hundreds of thousands of Robux in addition. Believe it or not, for a while, I actually was making more Robux from clothing than I was from trading. And that quickly led to me making it to over 1 million Robux in 2021. For the first time ever, I was officially a Roblox millionaire. By the way, King Aldridge III, if you're watching this video, you're literally the GOAT. But the only problem is that once I actually hit a million Robux, everything kind of slowed down. I wasn't making as much profit from trading, my clothing stopped getting as many sales, and we were pretty much stuck at 1.2 million Robux for like 2 years straight. It seemed like every time I did make a trade, I was actually losing Robux, not gaining. And to make it even worse, Roblox actually created some updates that pretty much rendered my #1 profit source useless. Roblox added the trade hold update, which made it so that you could only trade an item once every 2 days. And when you buy an item, you have to wait 7 days before you can sell it. And I noticed that when that happened, literally everybody around me was quitting. Everybody who traded on Roblox just stopped playing. And even the biggest YouTubers who uploaded trading videos completely stopped trading. And so I decided to quit too. I felt like the trade hold completely messed up trading and made it a useless system, honestly. At this time, trading was already going downhill, and this was pretty much the nail in the coffin. Luckily, my addiction to trading on Roblox was way too strong because I came back only a few months later, and the 1.3 million Robux that I had at the time somehow turned into 1.8 million without me even doing anything. So I basically had to relearn how to trade limiteds on Roblox from scratch, which honestly took a pretty long time. I had to figure out some new strategies like holding a ton of items at one time and trading with hundreds of different items rather than just a few. That way I could pretty much avoid the trade hold period. Even though I had 1.8 million Robux, my most expensive item at the time was the WC Ultimate Citrus Celebration, which was only worth about 160,000 Robux. And I had about 250 limited items, which was the most that I've ever had by far. And this strategy actually worked out pretty well. I was making more Robux than I ever had. Over the next few months, I made another 500,000, getting me up to 2.4 million. So the worst trading update of all time actually made me more profit than I had ever made, which is kind of crazy to think about. And you know that like cliche thing that rich people say where they're like, you know, the first million that I made was the hardest. Then after that, it was super easy. I'm not even gonna lie, that is exactly what it felt like for me. Once I got the hang of this new trading strategy and I hit 2.3 million, the amount of Robux that I was making was actually insane. And over the next 4 months, I doubled my profit, going from 2.3 million to about 4.6. And holding tons of items was my best strategy ever. Not only that, but I also got some of my most expensive items ever, like the green glowing eyes, the eyes of Emerald Wrath, and a few of my favorite items like the classic hat stack and the Santa's tentacles. Once I noticed all of this Robux I was making, I decided to double down on trading, and I kind of just quit everything else. I stopped making clothing, I stopped trying to make games, I stopped trying to do commissions, and I made sure that trading was my only source of Robux. And that was the best decision that I ever made in my Robux making journey. Because after I hit 4.4 million, 1 week later and we were already at 6 million. And my Robux just kept multiplying. I was actually completing some of my greatest trades that I have ever completed of all time. Like this trade that I got for the Sparkle Time Fedora, which made me over 540,000 Robux on it. And 2 months after I hit 4.4 million, we were already at 10 million Robux worth of limited items, with really good items like the Poison Horns, the Dual Lumina, Blue Steel Domino Crown, Viscount of the Federation, and tons of other really good stuff. And for some reason after that, I decided to completely switch my trading method because I wanted to try to get some really cool and really expensive items. So instead of trading a ton of items at a time, I decided to try to upgrade all of my items and only have a few. And I was able to get my best item ever, the Dominus Aureus, which is worth over 5 million Robux. And at the time was almost half of my value. And the Dominus Aureus definitely made me a lot of Robux, but I realized that even after trading it off and making close to 1 million Robux from it, that profit strategy just didn't work for me. And having tons of items was the best thing that I could possibly do. And of course, shortly after trading my Dominus Aureus away, I quickly went from around 11 million to 13 million. But then the entire Roblox market completely flipped. All of the items that are really popular started becoming extremely bad, and all of the really rare items that nobody ever wanted started to do really good. And these items were getting insane overpays. Like items that are 30k are now getting 200,000 overpays, which was really odd to me at first, but I decided to double down on rare items. Trading rares was never really something that I did on the past, but I decided to try it out, which allowed me to make some of my greatest flips of all time. Like the Crimson Wrath Lord of the Magma, which I was able to get for about 150,000 Robux, and ended up flipping for over 300,000. Or other items that I got, like the Black Knight helmet, which I overpaid 30k for, and now get like 250,000 on. And that strategy just made me even more Robux, bringing me to over 17 million. To the point where today I sit with my Roblox account that is worth over 20 million Robux worth of limited items, and I have some of the best and some of the rarest items in the entire game, ranking me as the 171st richest player on all of Roblox, which honestly is pretty wild to think about. But if you do look at my inventory now, I have the Sparkle Time Fedora, the Eyes of Crimson Wrath, 2 Eyes of Emerald Wrath, Clockwork headphones, the Yum, Telemon's chicken suit, the W's Ultimate Sudgelights, and tons of other really good items that are worth tons of Robux. And yes, I know my value technically isn't at 20 million, but considering how good these items are, I could easily get to 20 million if I wanted to. And if I wanted to sell all these items, I would get well over 20 million for them. But my trading journey has been pretty crazy, and I feel like everybody always has a different journey to making Robux. Mine just happened to be trading, and I wish you guys the best of luck if you are planning to make a ton of Robux. There's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs, so you just got to figure out what the best thing is for you. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Peace.